All right, today we're going to set sail on a journey way back, 2,000 years into the past. Now, our guide isn't some history book written centuries after the fact. Nope, we've got a real, first-hand account from a Roman-Egyptian merchant sailor. It's basically a mariner's log that opens up a portal to a totally forgotten world of global trade.
And you know, what I love about this account is that it's not really about the grand story of kings and empires. It's about the pioneers, the merchants, the captains, the actual people on the ground who were connecting the world one port at a time. It's a story of human endeavor, pure and simple.
So, I want you to put yourself in their sandals for a minute. You're a merchant, you've loaded up your ship with goods from all over the Roman Empire, and you're sailing south, way beyond the familiar waters of the Red Sea. What do you find? Who are you going to meet? And what kind of deals are you going to make? Well, that's the journey we're taking today.
Our guide for this whole voyage is this anonymous but, man, was he an observant author. He's a practical, business-minded guy. And his logbook? It's one of the most unique documents to ever survive from the ancient world. It's called the Periplus of the Erythraean Sea.
A periplus, it literally means a sailing around. So this wasn't some grand historical text, it was a business guide. Seriously, think of it like the Lonely Planet for Roman merchants. It told you everything you needed to know. Where's the next port? What do they sell? What do they want to buy? And maybe most importantly, who's in charge? It's just an incredibly detailed look at how ancient commerce actually worked.
So our voyage kicks off at the very tip of the Horn of Africa, a place that was just buzzing with international trade. I want you to imagine you're the captain and you're steering your ship into these bustling ports. You drop anchor at a place called Avalites, right on the modern Somali coast. The air is probably thick with smells you've never experienced. The docks are crowded. You've sailed a long, long way, and now it's time to do business. Your success here really depends on knowing exactly what to offer and what to ask for in return.
And here you can see the whole balance of trade laid out. You, the merchant, show up with useful goods and money from the Roman world, cloth, cups, coins, and in exchange, you're looking for the treasures of Africa. Fragrant myrrh and frankincense, valuable spices, and of course, ivory. The log also mentions the export of enslaved people, but it adds this very specific note, but rarely. This is the engine of the ancient economy, right here in action.
But, you know, trade isn't just about goods, it's about people. And in this whole region, all business goes through one guy, a local ruler named Zoskalis. He's the man you have to negotiate with to get the best prices and make sure your cargo is secure.
And this is where our sailor's log just shines. He gives us a full-on personality profile of the king. He says Zoskalis is miserly and always striving for more. So, you know, a tough negotiator. But he's also otherwise upright, which means he's probably fair. And then here's the kicker. He's acquainted with Greek literature. This wasn't some isolated ruler. This was a cosmopolitan guy, part of a connected world, reading Greek texts on the Horn of Africa in the 1st century AD. Just incredible.
Okay, so from these familiar markets run by worldly kings, our journey now takes us further south. We're heading into territory that, for our Greco-Roman sailor, was pretty much the edge of the known world. This is the coast of Azania.
So, you pull up your anchor, you catch those monsoon winds, and the bustling ports of the Somali coast just fade away behind you.
For 2 days and 2 nights, you're sailing along what the Periplus calls the Azanitic coast, pushing into waters that ships from Egypt just didn't travel as often.
And then you arrive. Welcome to Azania. That's a name that echoes through history, covering the ancient coastline of what we now call Kenya and Tanzania. And the final destination for traders like you is the last marketplace on this coast, a port the log calls Rapta.
So your first stop is likely the island of Minuthius, probably Pemba or Zanzibar. And our mariner's eye for practical detail is just amazing. He notes it's low and wooded, full of rivers. He even checks out the wildlife, reassuring other sailors that there are no dangerous beasts, just crocodiles that, get this, do not attack men. I mean, what a useful travel tip. He also describes the local tech, people using sewed boats and dugout canoes. Their lives are clearly tied to the rhythm of the sea.
But here's the thing. While this land might seem like a new frontier to our Roman-Egyptian narrator, he quickly finds out he isn't the first long-distance trader to show up here, not by a long shot. Our author points out that this entire coast of Azania is actually subject to the kingdom of Himyar over in Arabia under something he calls an ancient right.
What that implies is a political and economic connection that goes back so far even he doesn't know where it started. This was not a new thing, it was an old, established system.
And this might be the most stunning revelation in the entire logbook. He says the region is already home to Arab merchants who are deeply, deeply integrated. They are not just visitors, they know the local harbors, they speak the local languages, and, this is the most important part, they intermarry with the local people.
So you see, this isn't a story of conquest. It's a story of centuries of cultural fusion, of trade-building families, and of two peoples, Arabian and African, creating a new, shared society along this coast. This is the very foundation of the incredible Swahili culture, the world of the Zanj, that was born from this ancient connection long before any European ships ever showed up in these waters.
So why should we care about a 2,000-year-old shipping log? Well, because this humble document completely reshapes how we understand the ancient world and the history of East Africa.
Let's just break down the big takeaways. The coast of Azania was not some isolated backwater. It was a vibrant hub in a massive trade network that connected Africa, Arabia, and India. It proves that deep cultural and even family ties existed between Africa and Arabia way before Europeans arrived. Basically, this one sailor's guide gives us this precious window into an early chapter of globalization, written not by emperors, but by the merchants who were actually living it.
And really, that leaves us with one final thought. The Periplus survived by pure chance, a single voice speaking to us across thousands of years. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other stories, what other forgotten connections are just lying there, buried in time, waiting for someone to bring them back to light?